So we got, I think, at our out here by Elkville, about 7 inches of snow. So we'll have to compare notes. Okay, I show it's 10:30, Steve. So whenever you are ready.
Okay. So Zoom doesn't like my bell, so I'll pantomime it for you all. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we finish up our exploration of our monthly theme, Practicing Resistance. As we learn that resistance is never futile. February's theme is embodying resilience, and we will begin that exploration with next Sunday's service. If you are a newcomer this morning, we extend a special welcome to you. We're so glad you're here. And we're glad the rest of you are here too. If you'd like to know about what's going on at the fellowship 7 days a week, please give us your email address and feel free to fill out the blue welcome card, which is a link in the chat. And current members, you can use the welcome card to update your information as well. I presume we won't be staying after the service, so we look forward to the next time we can all be together in person. Since this is the last Sunday of the month, we have a committee spotlight. And then I invite Linda Linson to tell us more about the Generosity Committee. Linda?
Good morning, my friends. It's good to see faces and icons that let us know that you're all here. What a wonderful invention this is. I'm just really excited. Well, I am a member of the Generosity team. Each March, the Cuff Generosity team holds a campaign drive to collect your financial pledges to support Cuff over the next year, which begins with the new church year in July 2026. Believe it or not, with all of this snow, July is just around the corner. The importance of your monetary commitment is paramount to the board being able to plan for that coming year. From turning on the lights in our building to paying a prospective new minister a livable salary with benefits. Our team plans the communication and events during the campaign, which includes Valentine cards, a Sunday service, and a Saturday fun gathering event with music, activities, good food, and community. And if you're a UU, you like all that stuff, I know. We will be making Valentines to send to all members and friends and could use volunteers to help us next Saturday, January 31st, from 1 to 4 in the RE wing. You don't have to be creative. Some of us will be addressing and stuffing envelopes and writing messages. During this crazy time of negativity in the world, put a little joy in your life and join the fun. If that isn't enough to entice you, there will also be snacky foods, maybe even conversation hearts made of confections. You don't have to register to help, just come. We'd love to have all that would like to come. We will also be hosting a celebratory event here at Cuff on March 21st and would love to have volunteers to help with setup, cleanup, music, and activities. If you're interested in helping, contact either Jody Ruffner or myself. If you'd like to talk to any of our Generosity team members, they are Miriam Link-Mullison, our team leader, Bill Klein, Janet Harris, Debbie Blomer, Kathy O'Laughlin, Jody Ruffner, and me. Thank you. And remember, our gifts of money equal possibilities for Cuff.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. If any of you have an announcement, please raise your hand and put it in the chat box and it will get read. As usual, we're not going to read all the announcements that are on the back of the order of service, but this time you'll have to go to the Sunday morning email and find them there. So, I'm told that there are extra announcements on there this week since they didn't have to get squeezed onto one page. So be sure to check those out. Gilletta, are there any hands up for announcements?
I don't think I see anybody. But if I'm not seeing someone, feel free to unmute.
Okay, if we don't have any announcements from folks in the Zoom, I'd like to invite you all to center yourselves with the music of our prelude. And this is an audio version recorded by our very own Cuff Choir at their practice last Thursday night.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We stand for love and justice. We shall not be moved. We stand for love and justice. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We're standing here together. We shall not be moved. We're standing here together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We love Mother Earth. We shall not be moved. We love Mother Earth. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We will help with healing. We shall not be moved. We will help with healing. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We are all connected. We shall not be moved. We are all connected. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved.
Thank you, choir. Welcome to the Carbondale Unitarian Fellowship, which, like I suspect most of our houses, is located on the unceded traditional lands of the first people of the present-day Southern Illinois, the Miami, Osage, Kaskaskia, and Quapaw. The fellowship is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association, sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism with folks throughout the region. Our good news is a message of love, freedom, reason, respect, and justice as the basis for a religious community. I'm Steve Pittman. My pronouns are he, him, they, and I'm a member of the social action team, the social media team, and the Council on Shared Ministry. And this morning, I'm your Sunday service facilitator. We are a congregation of open minds and hearts, all ages, all colors, all genders, all abilities, all kinds of wealth, and all kinds of love. Now I invite everyone to select gallery views so we can wave at each other, connecting our congregation over space. Currently, CUF is lay-led, with the Sunday services team planning our services using the rich spirit and many talents of our congregation's members and friends. Anyone interested in speaking at a service, please contact a member of the team. In addition to members, services will include guest speakers and ministers, and this year we will also join with our friends at the Church of the Good Shepherd for some special Sunday services. Please join us on Sunday mornings or at our Wednesday evening Vespers on Zoom as we continue our search for a minister. For our chalice lighting today, I will share To Be a Unitarian Universalist by Erica Hewitt, inspired by Reverend Elizabeth Guyon's chapter, Our Work for Social Justice, in the Unitarian Universalist Pocket Guide. To be a Unitarian Universalist means we will never be done with the work of telling the truth about oppression, the work of resisting any laws, policies, or practices that deny anyone their humanity, the work of stubbornly seeking out the spark of the divine in each other, no matter what, the work of creating heaven on earth. To be a Unitarian Universalist also means we are not alone in the work. We are not alone because of our promises to love one another. We are not alone because we are companions on the journey. We grow ourselves into allies, helping one another get free. Because none of us is truly free until we are all free. Our chalice lamp is lit, now with intention. Gilletta puts a pebble in her bowl of water, sharing it with all of us. Let it ripple out beyond our knowing. All are invited to do the same at home to mark a joy, sorrow, or other feeling you have. And we now have a musical part of the service. Join us in singing with your microphones muted, filled with loving kindness. The words will be shared on our screens, and Elena will play and sing it for us, or lead us in singing.
It looks like Gilletta is searching for the words.
Yep. Apparently Zoom doesn't like my bell and it doesn't like our words, so our song words. So
I bet we can fake it without the words.
Shall I go ahead, Gilletta? Okay. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful on the days. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful on the days. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful on the days. May we be whole. Blessed be.
All right.
Oh, Steve, you're muted.
I knew there was a reason I wasn't going to do that, but I did it anyway. Okay, so I now invite Joyce Shepard to share the story A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon. It's a story for both young and old. Joyce?
Okay. All right. So here it is. You enjoy it. I know it's going to be a little hard to see the picture and to let me read, but I'll do my best. Camilla Cream loved lima beans, but she never ate them. All of her friends hated lima beans, and she wanted to fit in. Camilla was always worried about what other people thought of her. Today, she was fretting even more than usual. It was the first day of school, and she couldn't decide what to wear. There were so many people to impress. She tried on 42 outfits, but none seemed quite right. She put on a pretty red dress and looked in the mirror. Then she screamed. Her mother ran into the room and she screamed too. "Oh my heavens," she cried. "You're completely covered with stripes." This was certainly true. Camilla was striped from head to toe. She looked like a rainbow. Mrs. Cream felt Camilla's forehead. "Do you feel all right?" she asked. "I feel fine," Camilla answered, "but just look at me." "You get back in bed this instant," her mother ordered. "You're not going to school today." Camilla was relieved. She didn't want to miss the first day of school, but she was afraid of what the other kids would say, and she had no idea what to wear with those crazy stripes. That afternoon, Dr. Bumble came to examine Camilla. "Most extraordinary," he exclaimed. "I've never seen anything like it. Are you having any coughing, sneezing, Runny nose, aches, pains, chills, hot flashes, dizziness, drowsiness, shortness of breath, or uncontrollable twitching? No, Camilla told him. I feel fine. Well then, Dr. Bumble said, turning to Mrs. Cream, I don't see any reason why she shouldn't go to school tomorrow. Here's some ointment that should help clear up those stripes in a few days. If it doesn't, you know where to reach me. And off he went. The next day was a disaster. Everyone at school laughed at Camilla. They called her Camilla Crayon and Night of the Living Lollipop. She tried her best to act as if everything were normal. But when the class said the Pledge of Allegiance, her stripes turned red, white, and blue, and she broke out in stars. The other kids thought this was great. One yelled out, let's see some purple polka dots. Sure enough, Camilla turned all purple polka dotty. Someone else shouted, checkerboard, and a pattern of squares covered her skin. Soon everyone was calling out different shapes and colors, and poor Camilla was changing faster than you can change channels on the TV. That night, Mr. Harms, the school principal, called. I'm sorry, Mrs. Cream, he said. I'm going to have to ask you to keep Camilla home from school. She's just too much of a distraction, and I've been getting calls from the other parents. They're afraid those stripes might be contagious. Camilla was so embarrassed. She couldn't believe that 2 days ago, everyone liked her. Now, nobody wanted to be in the same room with her. Her father tried to make her feel better. Is there anything I can get you, sweetheart? He asked. No, thank you, sighed Camilla. What she really wanted was a nice plate of lima beans, but she had already been laughed at enough for one day. Well, yes, I see, Dr. Bumble mumbles when Mrs. Cream phoned the next day. I think I'd better bring in specialists. We'll be right over. The specialists went to work on Camilla. They squeezed and jabbed, tacked and tested. It was very uncomfortable. Well, it's not the mumps or measles or chickenpox or a sunburn. Try these, said the specialists, each handing her a bottle filled with different colored pills. Take one of each before bed. Then they left. That night, Camilla took her medicine. It was awful. When she woke up the next morning, she did feel different, but when she got dressed, her clothes didn't fit right. She looked in the mirror, and there staring back at her was a giant multicolored pill with her face on it. Dr. Bumble rushed over as soon as Mrs. Cream called, but this time instead of the specialists, he brought experts. Once again, Camilla was poked and prodded and looked at and listened to. The experts wrote down lots of numbers. It must be a virus, or maybe some kind of bacteria, or possibly a fungus. The experts didn't have a clue, much less a cure. By now, the TV news had found out about Camilla. Reporters from every channel were outside her house telling the story of the bizarre case of the incredible changing kid. Soon, a huge crowd was camped out on the front lawn. The Creams were swamped with all kinds of remedies, from psychologists, allergists, herbalists, nutritionists, psychics, and an old medicine man, a guru, and even a veterinarian. Each so-called cure only added to poor Camilla's strange appearance until it was hard to even recognize her. She sprouted roots and berries and crystals and feathers and a long furry tail, but nothing worked. One day, a woman called herself an environmental therapist. claimed she could cure Camilla. Close your eyes, she said. Breathe deeply and become one with your room. I wish you hadn't said that, Camilla groaned. Slowly, she started to melt into the walls of her room. Her bed became her mouth, her nose a dresser, and 2 paintings were her eyes. The therapist screamed and ran from the house. What are we going to do? Cried Mrs. Cream. It just keeps getting worse and worse. She began to sob. At that moment, Mr. Cream heard a quiet little knock at the front door. He opened it, and there stood an old woman who was just as plump and sweet as a strawberry. Excuse me, she said brightly, but I think I can help. She went into Camilla's room and looked around. My goodness, she said with a shake of her head. What we have here is a bad case of stripes, one of the worst I've ever seen. She pulled a container of small green beans from her bag. Here, she said, these might do the trick. Are those magic beans? Asked Mrs. Cream. Oh my, no, replied the kind old woman. There is no such thing. These are just plain old lima beans. It said green beans earlier.
No, it was lima.
Lima beans. I'll bet you'd like some, wouldn't you? She asked Camilla. Camilla wanted a big, heaping plate full of lima beans, more than just about anything, but she was still afraid to admit it. Yuck, she said. No one likes lima beans, especially me. Oh dear, said the old woman sadly. I guess I was wrong about you. She put the beans back in her bag and started toward the door. Camilla watched the old woman walk away. Those beans would taste so good. And being laughed at for eating them was nothing compared to what she'd been going through. She finally couldn't stand it. Wait, she cried. The truth is, I really love lima beans. I thought so, the old woman said with a smile. She took a handful of beans and popped them into Camilla's mouth. Mmm, said Camilla. Suddenly, the branches and feathers and squiggly tails began to disappear. Then the whole room swirled around her. When it stopped, there stood Camilla, and everything was back to normal. I'm cured, she shouted. Yes, said the old woman. I knew the real you was in there somewhere. She patted Camilla on the head, then she went outside and vanished into the crowd. Afterward, Camilla wasn't quite the same. Some of the kids at school said she was weird, but she didn't care a bit. She ate all the lima beans she wanted, and she never even had a touch of stripes again. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Makes me want some lima beans. So, had we all been together at the fellowship, at this point we would be sending the children and youth back to RE with a song, and I presume we're going to do that sometime in the future. So Eric's going to teach us a song now. Eric, take it away.
There you go. Unmute. That works.
Always a good idea.
Absolutely. All right. So we talked about this in the service committee. So about singing the children out again. And I found this song that I think would fit well for us. And it's based on the music of the doxology. So which a good majority of us probably know. But I'll go ahead and I think we're going to sing it through. I'm going to sing it through once, and then are we singing it through as a group?
It's up to you.
Oh, okay. Well, we can give it a try. Do we have the words?
We do, but you get like it's a delay on Zoom, so it's kind of a mess to try to sing in unison.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, we can do it, and then we can do this muted as well if you want to. And I'll go through it once, and then I'll go through it again so that we all know what's going on. And then, am I doing this a cappella, Elena, or am I,
Yes, a cappella, Eric.
okay, that'll work. I can do that. Okay, so, do we have words? No?
It was in the order of service I sent.
Okay, oh, great. Okay, excellent. Oh, and so it is. Okay. So it goes like this. In this our home we take the time to recognize the life sublime. In every path we walk this week, may we bring joy to those we meet. That's it. So we'll sing the children out with that, and we'll have it in the order of service for us. And like I say, most of it we'll give it a try. It just creates a nice transition between our time of all ages, which we definitely want to be having, and the rest of our service.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Now is the time to call on Eric. We're going to call on Eric to share our reading, Resistance Through Assistance by Zeb Green. Eric, take it away.
There we go. I was about to unmute, and then it jumps to me. Screen. Okay. I have a reading to share, The Resistance Through Assistance by Zeb Green. So drawing on our third source of Christian, Jewish, and Muslim teachings, I share, I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Gospel of Matthew 25:35. And Zeb goes on to say, when I lived in Texas between 2018 and 2023, I frequently went into Mexico to help people who had been deported from the U.S. I would help them get food, shelter, and transportation to somewhere remotely safe where they might still have family or friends. I can't overstate the fear and life-threatening danger those individuals experienced. That initial moment of entering a country they'd been deported to is a horror. You're left in a random city, in a country where you likely have no people and no support, without any identification, money, or resources. The cartels patrol those areas looking for people to abduct, to kidnap, or to hold ransom. We, the United States, do this to people who've lived quiet lives within our borders, people who are trying to put food on the table for their families. Those arguing for deportation use the language of law and justice. Those who commit a crime must do the time, we're told. But what's the appropriate amount of time for the crime of trying to survive? I can't think of any action heinous enough to justify the terrors this country enacts on undocumented people. Even as I volunteered during those years, I realized that I was underqualified. I speak Spanish poorly. I know very little about international law. On paper, I was not the best person to do that work. I always said I'd be happy to make connections for more qualified people. It didn't have to be me, but I wasn't going to stop doing it if other people didn't show up. It turns out that what I needed most was compassion, the ability to listen to people, and a willingness to do simple things like drive people to medical appointments, bring food to people, and look after them. That skill set of offering compassion and concrete help in response to fear and disruptive power is something that many of us can do. It is a profoundly simple thing to put love at the center. If resistance to injustice takes the form of offering assistance to those most in need, almost all of us can help our neighbors. And I end with this of the reading. Beloved Spirit of community, may we remember our shared humanity to all people. In remembrance, may our hearts be kindled to a deep love. May this love inspire us to reach beyond walls and barriers to provide care and to shield all our neighbors from hate and oppression.
Thank you, Eric. In our fellowship, we share so many things: time, efforts, talents, spirit, and money. We share with this fellowship for the needs of the fellowship, but we also share with our greater community beyond these walls. You may contribute to the fellowship or to our social action offering recipient for January, which is the UU Prison Ministry of Illinois. And even though we're not meeting in person today, you can still make checks payable to Cuff and drop them off the next time we are together. And you can also donate online via PayPal. The link is in the chat and in your order of service. Use the check memo area or the note area in PayPal if you wish to specify a contribution to the Unitarian Universalist Prison Ministry of Illinois. Now, please join me in the unison offering reading. There's a slight delay on Zoom, so please be patient. We'll wait till the words get on the screen.
Oh God, these words over a picture are terrible. I can't read them. And I'm sitting close to my computer. I can't read that.
Well, I haven't printed out. I think they will sound familiar to everyone.
They're also in the order of service, so that was my bad.
It's the offering reading.
Let there be an offering.
Yeah.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. Your contributions in all forms are gratefully received. Now I'll turn it over to Elena for the offertory.
Hello, dear friends. One of my beloved endeavors that brings me so much joy is studying and learning and singing the many different songs in our songbooks. And I often do this song when I sing for our Zoom Vespers. And I just have a growing list of songs that are becoming my favorites. And I think our hearts always need tender, loving care, and this song definitely does that for us. And may we lift up all who are weary and sad and heartbroken. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the love of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. Yes, our heart is in a holy place. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Did you need to say something, Linda? No? Okay.
Thank you, Elena, as always. And now I invite Eric to share his message on why resistance is never futile. A timely message indeed. Eric?
Hey, I unmuted that time on my own, so that's a plus.
Yay!
I'm getting the hang of this. Okay. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's a lot of very heavy things, and it just seems to be getting heavier. When I stepped up to give the service this Sunday, it occurred to me a little after that is that I had actually been in this same position almost exactly a year ago when I gave the service after the inauguration. And it's just ironic for me that I find myself here in the same place, same spot. So um, it's been a wild year, and it's I don't know what it's going to bring, but I do know that there are things and places that we can be and we can do to keep moving forward. I'm sharing words kind of in simpatico with Reverend Andrew Weber, who's giving a similar sermon actually in Thomas Paine UU Fellowship about 30 miles outside of Philadelphia. And I'll be drawing heavily upon his words because they're just amazing. When this window opened up to speak, Gilletta actually sent out his sermon that he's doing and on resistance is not futile. And it just resonated so well with me that I was like, huh, okay, all right. I'm going to let my fandom come out and you'll get to learn a little more about who I am and the weirdness that is Eric Terrell. So let's see how this goes. He starts off with this statement that he is a science fiction fan. I am so far beyond that I don't even know how to address that. I'm definitely a geek, and I have got geekery running through me and have for all of my life. And in most of the UU congregations I've been a part of, I've been in good standing. So I know I wave to our fellow geeks here on the Zoom, to say hello and welcome. So I find the imagination entertaining and the topics interesting and sometimes challenging. It is true, as with many genres, books or TVs and movies, but it's looking forward and different realities. Science fiction, for me, often includes a philosophical look of where we stand today. So it's a reflection of where we're at. This is especially true when I hear the words resistance this month. The first thing that popped into my head was the sound of a deep villain from the Star Trek universe, which is the Borg. So they're the big bad guys, and for them, they meet you and greet you as with their giant ships, telling you that resistance is futile and we will absorb you into our own collective. So for me, even more on a day-to-day basis, it feels like this is kind of where we're at. So I look at this particular show that's been going on since the mid 1960s. And I didn't get to see the first episodes. I was a little young then. I was only one when the first episodes came out, but it quickly went into syndication, and Star Trek quickly became a part of my syndicated independent television viewing experience. When I started at that particular time in the 1970s and 80s, we only had 4 television channels, so you were a little restricted as far as what you could observe from that particular medium. And the independent UHF channels were more than happy to pick up the syndication of the Star Trek episodes. So it was something I watched with my dad every night, and it's one of those things that I connected with. So little did he probably realize, as a very conservative political person, just how influential this piece of fandom would be for me, and the message that Gene Roddenberry, its creator, put forward on a week-by-week basis. The general premise is that there's a spaceship of explorers going through the universe. Gene Roddenberry, its creator, had a vision of the future where all the people lived in harmony and peace. We had a united federation of planets that worked together, setting aside monetary systems. Everyone was fed, everyone was housed, everyone was educated. And the young me definitely took all of this in. And it should be no surprise that I find myself sitting all of these years later in a Unitarian Universalist congregation. So the programming started young. His ideas and his wrestling with the current issues of his time period have resonated through time to the present day, and we've seen many different kind of iterations of the Star Trek franchise moving forward, and I have lovingly watched them all because it's just the messages are so deeply impactful. So again, the whole reason I'm going into this and looking at fandom is that notion of resistance. Being a fan, I mean, I heard that word a lot through a lot of different people and a lot of different experiences. And it's something that I think resonates with where we need to be today. Resistance is futile, it says, coming through the screen with the giant mechanized people that have been assimilated and forced to do the bidding of the collective. Again, it just brings chills through my body when I think of when I look at the news every day, how that somehow comes to force. And I know it can seem so outrageously insurmountable, all of these things that we're facing. It's just so big. How do we deal with this, and how do we work with this? I pretty much stopped my meta connections, whether it's Facebook or any of those other mechanisms, because I just can't. I do my best to stay informed through NPR and just finding sources that I can even bear to look at without just moving from despair to not understanding to absolute pure rage and everything in between. And then what do I do with all those things? As an individual, it's just, again, it seems so big. So I'm so glad to have my faith community and this Unitarian Universalism that I've worked with for so many years to kind of stand behind and stand on. Because our mission is to promote a more just and compassionate world. We center love with everything we do. We try to live into a more just and compassionate world. Even while we're trying to resist the status quo, we end up often looking like counterculture individuals that are just don't get the flow, and I'm okay with that. There are certainly times when things feel futile. What differences can one voice make? What differences can one person make? It can be overwhelming, feeling that our donations, where are they going? What are they doing? What's happening? But we're always left with these challenging questions, and it's always been the case within our faith of how do we take what we hold to be so sacred with I'm seeing the icons of our multi-handed chalice, embracing the light, reaching up, always reaching up. And fortunately, I am filled with hope from that. So it's easy to be filled with that futile feeling where resistance is indeed not where we need to be. And is our resistance to any injustice in this world making a difference? When we switch to LEDs, will that help us save our environment? Will getting together with our neighbors help us assuage the onslaught of fear and hate? When we see someone pick up trash along the side of the road, is that really going to make a large difference with what we're at? When you decide to ride a bike instead of take your car, is that making a difference with the pollution that's being emitted so easily and freely? It just seems like again, the responsibility is being put on us when it's just larger situations. And the difficult piece of this is that, like with so many other things, the things that we are doing, we don't know if it's going to have an impact or not. We can't always know for certain what impact we have on the world. There are many times when we just don't know, and other times when it really just seems that our actions are futile. And here's where it gets sticky. What do we do with our incomplete and imperfect knowledge? It's impossible to test the impact in most cases and prove that they aren't pointless. And from this, I see a couple of ways we can move forward. We can decide that because I'm only one person, we are only one small community, that there's no point. Resistance is indeed futile, and we can succumb to whatever happens to be going around and just move with the flow the way it is. Why even try? There are so many, there's no point in trying to change the world's perspective. Let's just make sure our space is welcoming. And that's one outlook. Assume that our actions don't make a difference and do nothing. I hope it's not a surprise, based on everything that I have, that's not where I'm at. And I know that's not where we're at. So I disagree. So as Unitarian Universalists, we take the opposite approach. We can live and act from a place of deep faith, faith that our actions do have an impact, faith that resistance is not futile. The resistance is essential. Faith that our actions, whether large or small, matter and matter deeply. As I was going through my research on what I was going to do, I'm reminded of a Unitarian Universalist joke. So when presented with a pathway, one to heaven and one to hell, in the traditional way of looking at that, someone asks a Unitarian, where are you headed? And the Unitarian says, oh, definitely heading to hell, because there's a lot of people I need to lead out. So that's where I'm at with that. Resistance is not futile, because I'm going to take a glass of water to everyone that needs it. So I'll be marching right into hell to help people work their way back out. And that's the crux. Some of our actions can have impact. I have faith that what I say here and what we do as a religious organization helps to promote a just and compassionate world. I live with a deep and sustaining faith that our actions, no matter how small, make a difference. Because deep down, deep inside, I believe that it does. I truly believe that as we do for ourselves, it will ripple in the pond and extend out into the broader universe. Who are you being an example for today? What action are you taking, very small or large, to help impact your community, our families, our faith? How are you representing who we are? Because it doesn't take big actions. And this is the heart of every fandom that I'm a part of, says that it is those small, dedicated actions, feeding the people, creating spaces, caring for people, doing the thing. I can't go out and march. My family can't go and do that. I can't put my children in that kind of risk, as much as I would like to be out in the streets. I applaud those individuals, those tens of thousands of individuals that are protesting in Minneapolis. I applaud them in the cold and everything else. I can't do that action. You may be able to do that action here. I can't even take that action here in Carbondale. And I so deeply, deeply respect those individuals that do. But we can help provide childcare so that you can go do whatever action you need to do. That's one of the things that Willow spoke about. I can provide a meal. We can provide warm spaces. We can provide a hug. We can do our small pieces to help support the greater good, the greater movement. So what small actions can you take to help support the greater good? What small actions can you take? How are we being a neighbor to our neighbors? How are we being that family that we know we can be? How are we stepping up and making our differences, even though we may think they're small? I guarantee you, when we provide food for someone, when we are in the grocery store and we smile at them, I helped a family reach the stuff on the top shelf at the grocery store. It seems small, but they were so very grateful that there was someone there to help them. So how can we move our faith and how can we move ourselves into such a way that we can be helpful in large ways if you can, and in small ways, whatever that looks. The revolution continues. The resistance is persistent. It is not futile. We will not give up. So I bring up the words of a wonderful movie that I have, a great part of the fandom of Galaxy Quest, which some of you guys may have experienced. And it's the standpoint where we never give up and we never surrender. And then I'm led to my Doctor Who that I've been watching since the mid-1970s. And with one of my small channels, PBS, again, influencing who I am today. So one extraterrestrial person that refuses to give up, that harvests other people and moves them forward as his companions and his comrades to save universes, worlds, peoples, and everything. It's there. We internalize that and we move forward. And then the last one I have, and I have my flag here in the back, which freaked out our neighbors in Oklahoma. This is the flag of the independence from Firefly. And if you've not seen Firefly, very short run episode, again, never give up and never surrender. Arrive in the nick of time, be the people we know we can be, and always lead with love. I know you will, and I will continue to resist as we are the movement. So may it be.
Thank you, Eric. In a moment, as we do our benediction, let's keep that in mind.
We have the postlude first.
I know, I said in a
Oh,
moment.
sorry.
I'm sorry, I was what was it? I was ad-libbing there. So normally when we're all together, this is the point where we finally get to clap. But feel free to do so at home. And I want to thank everyone who made this service possible, which includes everyone on Zoom. And to our speaker, Eric.
No, you're going ahead. We have the postlude from
Oh, you're
Elena
right. I'm
first.
sorry. Yep. Special thank you for Gilletta for keeping us on track. Elena, postlude, please.
This song, it's called The Oneness of Everything, is by Jim Scott. It is in our Teal songbook, 1052. I found a video of some folks from a church in Baltimore, UUA church in Baltimore, that it's on, if you Google The Oneness of Everything and UUA songs, you'll find this. And it is just absolutely beautiful. We sang it through once in choir practice this past Thursday. So may it lift your heart. So far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. like the birds whose patterns grace the sky, and carry all who join in love expanding the message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth, ever giving. And now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living, for the oneness of everything. Still, we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined. Vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Okay, I'm back on. Thanks to our speaker, Eric, and thanks to Joyce for sharing the story of lima beans and stripes. Thank you, Linda, for telling us about generosity. Thanks to our musicians, Elena and the Cuff Choir, and our accompanist, Elena. And thanks to Gilletta for putting this modified service together, keeping us on track, and actually pulling this off. I hope I don't speak too soon. And thanks to myself for facilitating more or less. So now for our benediction, I invite you to hold your palms out, or if you're fortunate enough to be with someone in your home today, join hands for our benediction, which is Divine Mystery by Marisol Caballero. Divine Mystery, you are present in my joy and in my sorrow, my anger and fear. Guide me to create joy in my life and the lives of others, that despair finds no permanent home within my soul. Amen. Blessed be, go in peace with love for justice. And I noticed that Gilead's going to keep it open if folks want to stay around and chat. So I'll let you MC that one, Gillette.
Okay. You did a great job, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. at times